set to Final Jeopardy, which today features businesses as the category. Think about it. Action wagers. Back in a moment.
Another very vague category for tonight's deciding clue. Welcome to the Final Wager. I'm Keith Williams. Very good game between Shyamlee and Zach tonight. 18-8 for Shyamlee, looking to defend. Zach, 21,000. Valerie could still technically play spoiler with a little bit more than twice the difference between these two. 4,800. This one could be fun. Although Shyamlee with proper wagering here would leave Valerie in the dust. Zach was one of the most animated players I've seen in a long time. When he was getting down very close to the podium, when he was having trouble with a clue, or I can't remember one other time he pointed or got really excited. Maybe that was when he made the True Daily Double very early on. But it's fun to see people having fun and being themselves on TV. No problems there. So let's see. Shyamlee doubles up. She's got 37.6. So to cover that, that's going to be 16.6 from Zach. And if he's wrong, it's going to be 4,400. So that's why Valerie's still in contention. And she can just sit here with at most 400 on her wager. For Shyamlee, she's going to want to cap her wager against Zach at 14.4, but she's going to want to go even smaller and keep Valerie locked out. If Valerie doubles up, she'll have 9,600, and that is $9,200 less than what Shyamlee has, so I'm just going to cross that out and put 9,200 as her max. And Valerie can't do anything about that, so Valerie's going to want to just stay small and hope that Shyamlee goes big, which, given the size of her daily double wagers, is pretty unlikely, I'd say. Let's see, if Shyamlee goes for this 9,200 amount, then she'll have 28,000, looks like. Yeah, so Zach could wager 7,000. This is the Shores conjecture situation, the shortegic wager, where Zach thinks Shyamlee is going to be a rational wagerer here and he'll try to outflank her. 7,000. If he's wrong with that, 14,000 even. So make sure I'm not running out of time. 4,800 would be Shyamlee's max. I guess you can keep going back and forth here. If Shyamlee wagers 4,800, she'd have 23.6. So Zach might want to wager, what is that, 2,600? Yeah, that makes sense. And Shyamlee would want to wager at least 400, but we won't go too deep there. Let's look at the differences between first and second. Difference between Shyamlee and Zach is 2,200, so Shyamlee will want to wager at least 4,400. And I guess Zach could force her to get it right with this $2,200 wager or here, but this range and these two ranges are the ones I'd focus on for Zach. This was probably the best range for Shyamlee. Definitely no more than 9,200, and Valerie, like I said, is going to want to keep it small. Let's play. Another dumb category.
I like today's final. The category is businesses. Here's the clue, players. An 1860 ad for this business that only lasted 19 months sought 10 or a dozen men familiar with the management of horses. You have 30 seconds. Good luck.
The thing that gave that away for me was lasted only 19 months. So when you think of the Pony Express, think of something that was in service for a long time. And it wasn't. It was less than 2 years. So that's what gave it to me. If it hadn't been in there, I probably would have gone something either... Wells Fargo was the first thing that popped in my head because of their horse-drawn carriage logo, and then Budweiser with the Clydesdales, but they're still around today, so they can't be right.
I bet you a lot of the folks at home who are playing along got this also. We start with you, Valerie.
Just to rub it in case you got it wrong.
And you wrote down what is the Pony Express, which is the correct question. And you will add 3,200, bumping you up to 8,000. Now we come to Shyamlee, who looked as if she was having second thoughts about her response. But she wrote down the correct one, so she will add to that 18,800. Oh, hello, 12,201. That brings her up to 31,000.
I don't know why, but...
And we come to Zach, who played very well. Did he get Pony Express? He did. Did he risk more than 10,001? Oh, yes. Look at the payday for him, folks. 37,601.
I want to go back there because I heard a yip or something.
And we come to Zach, who played
I didn't hear
very
the
well.
Johnny go, whoa, or whatever.
He did. Did he risk more than 10,001? Oh, yes. Look at the payday for him, folks. 37,601.
Well, either a yip or a stray dog in the studio. Either way, that's a big payoff. And congrats to Zach. That's Shyamlee's small daily double wager came back to haunt her here. And in fact, I wonder if that last clue was something that Shyamlee knew as well, because that would have turned the tables. But one good wager, two not so good wagers, a good game all around, and anything else? Nah, just always a pleasure to see Neil deGrasse Tyson in that amazing vest with the sun on it in the background. That's just the worst Starfield that you've ever seen. So much fun. And I was kind of hoping to see the rescuers. There's a naked woman in one of the pictures in the background in the rescuers, so that movie category would have been a little bit more, well, maybe not G-rated, so perhaps for the best that they left that off. Anyway, have a great weekend. It's a long weekend, but we'll be back here on Monday, July 4th, to dissect yet another final wager. We'll see you then.